Yes, children, good morning once again. Uh, Today we are going to study about your chapter Judiciary, class 11, book Political Science, Indian Constitution. From this book we are going to study about your chapter Judiciary. Its role is very important in our daily life also, as well as in our political as well as social life. I would like to mention that there is always some type of disputes. Disputes are everywhere, and it is general in our daily life routine. Within the family we have different type of disputes among ourselves. Even you brother sister being students, you are there. Suppose you are some issue dispute in your classroom, you go to your monitor. Then if issue is not resolved over there, you go to your class teacher, subject teacher, and in the end, if issue is very serious, it sometime we have to seek the help of our principal also. And somewhat like that in our families also, being brothers sisters, you have different type of your disputes, and you usually talk to your mother, mean to say parents, mother, father, and when it is not resolved, you go somewhat higher authority, grandpa, grandmother in your family. Hopefully you agree with my this view, and something like that whole country is also acting like a family. And in when there are different type of disputes within the family, then where we will go? We'll go to the judiciary, obviously. We'll take the help of the person who can provide us justice. And to provide justice, there is the establishment of the judiciary according to Indian political system. According to Indian, and as earlier we have discussed that it is very important organ of the government. Three organs are there: legislature, one we have read, then executive and judiciary. This we have done already. This also we have studied already. And today we are going to study about the judiciary. That is the third organ of our government. And very important, it comes in the category of horizontal power sharing. When there is separation of power, federal form of government, this comes under the category of federal form of government, as well as the horizontal power sharing. Horizontal power sharing also implies that judiciary have and this legislature, executive, all have their functions differently, but they are working together. In other words, we can say that these are the working institution of a democratic form of government. Hopefully you have got this. Now I am going to tell you about the need and importance of judiciary. In this chapter we will study, and then we will take the meaning of judiciary. Then we will take third point, independent judiciary, very important and must point. Judiciary should be there, it is there, but how far does it give it decisions freely, mean to say away from any political pressure. Political pressure may be imposed by any legislature, may be imposed by executive, and how far our judicial system is away from all these political pressures. That is far more important in any democratic form of government. In this way, I would like to suggest you here for this that we have to take these very seriously. Then we will study about the composition of the judiciary. I mean to say how we compose this judiciary. I would like to mention here all the members, I mean to say all the judges, advocates, lawyers, all are selective rather than elective. Till now we have studied about elected members everywhere. It may be legislature, it may be executive, but here all the members are selective in the judiciary, not in the judiciary have its different levels. Like I would like to mention one level: Supreme Court, High Court and local court. Supreme Court, High Court and local court. Three type of courts are there: supreme, high, local. And it is like a pyramid type, like we have our government structure also. That is also three levels of the government. This one, first level, union level; second level, state level; third level, local level. Exactly same way there are these one courts. Higher is the Supreme Court, that is at center level. That is only one for whole of the country. Then second, this one high courts are there. That is at the state level, high court. Supreme Court at the center level. Then this third type, local level court, that is at local government. In this way, it is like a pyramid like structure, and this is working in this way only, right? This one state center level Supreme Court, state level high court, and local level local court. And one thing here I would like to mention, very important, all these courts have their different type of jurisdictions. That is new term for you. Till your previous class you have studied about this, but jurisdiction is a new term that is also based upon three different categories where this type of justice would be provided to the citizen. Very important. First one is, that is original jurisdiction. Second one is appellate jurisdiction, and third one is advisory jurisdiction, that also play very important role. Third, this one advisory. In this way we will study all about this. First I would like to tell you about the meaning of judiciary. Judiciary means that it is the third organ of the government. Without judiciary there cannot be any state worth the names. There won't be any justice between the citizens as well as the governments. Judiciary has the duty to punish all those who break the law. That is the legal body, third organ of the government. Then independent judiciary is very important term. Until and unless our judiciary is independent, only then we can hope that it will provide us some judicious decisions. I mean to say that decisions are right whatsoever taken by the judiciary. Indirect way we can say that they are away, judiciary should be away from any type of political pressure of any political party, ruling party, opposition party. That's why people have full faith in the judiciary. And in other words, this judiciary is also called the interpreter, best interpreter of our constitution, because without judiciary nobody have authority also to interpret the constitution. Anybody, if suppose has to be given punishment, he is justified, the things are justified by the constitution through this judiciary, right? In this way, when we talk about the composition, judiciary is composed of some judges, advocates, mean to say lawyers, as well as one chief justice everywhere. But a number of judges, advocate keeps on changing time to time. And here in nowadays in our Supreme Court there is one chief justice and 25 to 30 other judges are there. At present it is consist of 30 judges, and this procedure of composition has been given in our constitution, article 127 part 1. Part 1, this composition of the judges, judiciary, authority, everything is declared very clear-cut manners in the article 127 for the provision of some ad hoc judges also. There is one term, ad hoc judges, that will clear in our next lectures for this. And in this way these are the some important points that we are going to discuss in this chapter, and meaning of judiciary, composition, different types and levels of the judiciary, and the different ways this Supreme Court consult the people. This one we can say with the help of president and other judges, all the decisions are given based on proofs and evidences. Judiciary provides all the decisions. But to make Indian constitution, Indian government more federal, successful, judiciary should be independent and impartial. If the judiciary is not doing like that, तो in that way लोगों का judiciary से बिल्कुल जो faith है वो उठ जाएगा. Then there won't be anything, there won't be any place where we can go for justice. That's why the people who are working in the judiciary, the people who have faith like we citizens have to be full faith on the judiciary, that whatsoever they are working. And moreover, we all citizens, ordinary citizens, should be responsible to maintain law and order of the judiciary. Whatsoever guidelines are given by judiciary, that we have to maintain. So in this way, appointment of the judges, I'll tell you, they have very good salary. Their appointment is based upon their educational qualification. Different type of exams are held for judges, right? ICJ, like this type of exams are there, and they are getting very good salary, monthly salary. Approximately the judges of the Supreme Court have 2,50,000 salary they are getting, whereas High Court judges are getting 2,000, 25,000. Mean to say, High Court judges, Supreme Court judges are getting 2.5 lakh salary, 2,50,000 salary, and High Court judges are getting 2,25,000 of salaries, right? And somewhat provisions are there for locals also, and that salary is always fixed by the parliament. Judges, lawyers, their salary is always fixed by the parliament. If parliament thinks that according to the need of the hour, if time permits, they can make some increase and decrease in the salaries of the judges and advocates. And very, very important that this is the appointment of the judges. Now we have to discuss about the removal of the judges. How we can remove the judges of Supreme Court. Very, very important. Judges, if we see it frankly, it is very hard to remove the judges of the Supreme Court and High Court. Very hard. But through impeachment motion, impeachment and adjournment, these are the two words are used, and mostly for this one judicial system we use this. Adjournment motion is to be passed in the parliament. It should be recognized by the president also. Only then we can remove these judges, but it's very hard, near to impossible, right? That's why the position of the judges is very respectable, very dignity, having some individual dignity, and should be respected as they are the interpreter of the our Indian constitution, that is the supreme body, that is the major guidelines of the citizens of India. Bye students.